Hello everyone, Jake here. I have my air compressor in another building, and today we're going to bury some air line underneath the ground and run it to this building. Here we go.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
I have this rapid air home garage kit. I'm going to bury it underground, but I'm going to run it through PVC pipes. So it'll be two stages. We'll do PVC, and then I'll get this out and show you everything that's involved in this. But first, let me show you the situation I have from shop to shop. As we come into the shop, as you see, I have an air hose coming from the other shop, and then we have this, it's another garage airline kit. It's pretty nice, it doesn't leak, and I'll have a link to that one below too, but I wanted something a little bit more robust for this. So let's follow this, it goes out. There it is. I already have a trench dug. I dug it a few weeks ago, so it's ready to go. So let's keep following this. There's the old building. Following the line. And here's the situation we have in this shop. Every day when I come out to the shop, I have to come out here and hook this, take this out of the yard and hook this up. And it goes into a dryer. Let's take some moisture out of it. I have another one, a different one I'm gonna try at the end of this, but hook this up and it goes out there. So every day I come out here, I have to do that. So I also have this hose reel right here that if I want to air up the lawnmower or tires out here, or even pull my vehicle up and put air in the tire or something, I have to disconnect this and connect it right here, and then I can use air out here. So I plan on fixing that. I'm gonna have a shut off right here, because all this has is it comes right out and then goes into this hose. So we're gonna run the shop air out here, and I'm gonna have a manifold right here that will have something goes to here and something goes to the shop. That's what I hope to accomplish today, is I could just come out here and turn this on and turn this. And at the end of the day, I could just put a valve right here and shut it off, and be done. So the other problem is I just undid this, I just unhooked this, but normally it would be full of air. Like this hose going all the way to the shop, and all the airlines have air in it. So when I disconnect it for the night to lock this door, it shoots out air like crazy and probably wakes up the neighbors and all that kind of stuff. So I won't have to deal with that anymore. The first stage of this process is going to be to lay this PVC pipe. I'm going to do the whole thing, start to finish. It's going to be completed before I even mess with the air hose. I'll start off with 6 pieces, that's 60 feet, and I have a little bit extra of this from the last project I did. But I have 60 feet of this. You can get the gray stuff like this, but a 10-foot section of the gray 1-inch pipe was $10, and these were $3. So do the math on that. So this stuff that's going to the actual buildings is going to be this gray stuff, and I'll show you everything I have. First thing we have is these couplers, and the pipe just goes in there. It just connects two pipes together. This one came in a bag with 10 pieces in it, so I went ahead and got that. It's pretty cheap. And then going to the buildings, we're gonna, these are sweeping 90s or easy 90s, or just, they're not going to be a abrupt 90, because we have to fish this line through it. So we want it to be a gradual 90. And so that's going to go together like that. And so this will go into the house, this will go underground, and you adjust accordingly to how deep your hole is and how much it's going to take to get it into the house properly, or the building. And my other building is a Quonset hut, so I got 45s. The edge of it's kind of curved, and there's cement that comes out from the Quonset hut, so I think it'd be more appropriate for 45. So basically, it's going to be more like this instead of like this, and that'll become clear here in a little bit. And you can put, pipe in between here and connect it and do the appropriate thing. Of course, I got a couple more connectors. You have your cement and your primer, very important. I'm gonna do all this, I'm gonna do this in here instead of do it out in the wind and dirt and everything. You can use a hole saw. I have a step bit that does a pretty good job. So I'm going to use this step bit, and you'll see how that works here in a minute. So how we connect into the buildings, this step bit is going to drill a hole, and I'm going to do it just big enough for this to go in, and then shove it in there, and then that's going to tighten up like so, and then the hose is going to go in there. Pretty easy. They also make these things, and I got a couple of them. Instead of using this, instead of using that, you can use these and have a metal connection. These don't come with the O-rings on there, so this is a O-ring assortment kit. Buddy David let me borrow it, and that is what gave us our O-rings. Since it's windy and dirty outside, I'm going to get this primer. I'm going to go ahead and primer the ends of these. I'm going to primer the insides of these, and then kind of let them dry a little bit, and then we'll start fitting things out outside, and next thing you know, we'll have a tunnel going from here to there. I have plastic on the ground too, so because this stuff will get everywhere. And don't be shy with it. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff primered, and then we'll start building this thing. First thing I'm gonna do is look for an appropriate spot. I don't want to drill right here on this ledge, so I'm gonna, even though the hole kind of lines up with that, I'm gonna hit it over here. And I'm gonna go about the same distance above here as these other two. And I better measure first to make sure there's not a pole or anything. We're barely gonna miss a beam right here. So I'll go ahead and drill this. There you go. So I'm not going to glue anything yet. I'm just going to put this in here. This is the gradual 90. Put it in there like that. This is going to go down there as far as you can go. And I'll stick this other, I have this left over from another project. So I'm going to put this in here. And then we're going to put that down there where we want it, and then we're going to mark this. So I've already marked it right there. So I'm going to do this for the whole thing, and when I go to glue everything, put it back together, then we'll come out here and I'll show you what we got. And you can cut this with a jigsaw, a sawzall. I'm going to use the chop saw in the shop. Put a good amount of glue on here. Don't be scared of the glue. When you put these fittings together, be real quick about it though, because it tries to stick pretty fast. So we messing around, get it up there, it's on. Same thing here. Oops, right there. So on and so forth all the way up down the line. When I get this finished, then I'll show you what we got. So here we go. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. There's a 90, and then goes down there to another 90. Here we go until we get this corner. I could have bent the PVC around there, but I decided to put one of those 45s right there. So we come up here, I got a 45 and then a straight and then a 90. And it's because of the building. So it comes out of the building and points up. So I had to figure it out. But it's ready to put some airline in there now. Next up, I need to show you this airline kit, but before we do that, we'll talk about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where a yearly subscription is less than $10 a month. The first 1,000 subscribers of mine that go click the link in the description below will get a free trial to Skillshare's premium membership.
There's thousands of courses on multiple topics like illustration, photography, film and video, and even how to YouTube. And a matter of fact, that's the last class I took, and I hope it pays off. The video you're watching right now is actually me finding and signing up for a class. I found one that's called Getting Started with Your DSLR by Phil Ebner. It looked interesting, so I clicked on it, and then you come over here and you click Enroll Now. And he starts going, and now you're all of a sudden you're taking a class. See how it's broken down into 2 minutes and 6 minute little classes, and then Skillshare remembers where you're at. Next time you go back on there, it sets you right back up where you left off. It's super convenient, easy to take, and it's easy to learn because these guys really know what they're talking about. So don't forget, first 1,000 subscribers of mine that go there and sign up, get the free trial membership.
Here's the box that comes in. Have some directions. Here's 100 feet of line. Here's my old line that's already in my shop just for comparison. It's a pretty substantial difference, so pretty excited about that. I'm gonna make this adapt to this, and we'll go over that later. Here's everything that comes with the kit. You have these elbows and these straight ones here. That's what connects to your line, and I'll show you real quick. All you do is pull that back. You're gonna pull that black thing back, push it in there, and it's done. That's all you have to do to that. So you have all of these connections, all of these connections. This is what your outlet parts are gonna look like. I just put this one together real quick. You can switch these all around, however configuration you want them to have. You have 2 of those, and then you have a block manifold, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with that. Not gonna come with this kit is your quick connect fittings. There's different styles, and I think they don't want to go there, so they want you to buy your own to fit whatever you have in your existing shop. So that's going to screw in there like so. This goes to the airline. So you're going to have 2 of those. All of these connections, you can use Teflon tape to seal it or liquid Teflon, and I'm going to use liquid Teflon for this. Next up, I got a new air filter for it. I'm going to try this one out rather than the one that I have on there already and see if I like that any better. These are some adapters that go from 1/4 inch pipe thread to 3/8 pipe thread, and I think this goes from any configuration you can think of right there, and I should be able to make those hoses fit together at the end. These are just upgrades for my compressor. This is it's a drain valve. It's an extended compression tank drain valve assembly. This screws into the bottom of the tank, and then it'll come out there, so you can just turn that and let the moisture out. And then here is a shutoff valve for it. So these are just upgrades for my compressor. Let's start building this thing. I think the first thing I need to do is try to push this through the line. And I have a few bends on it, as you've seen at the beginning of the video. And I'm really just curious to see if I can push it through there. I'm gonna cut this to a point right there to make it maybe easier to go through. You could lube it or whatever, but if I have trouble going through, I'll go get a tape or get some string and put through there or whatever, and then pull it through. But I'm kind of curious to see if I can get it through there. So let's do that first.
This part actually went way better than I thought it was going to, but I did have to go to the other shop and squirt some WD-40. It got stuck at that last bend.
I think that's it. Go check. Boom, got it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this fitting out, take the fitting out underneath, take this air filter out, and then we'll start putting new stuff on, and I'll try to document that as best I could. It's kind of dark in here, but I'll do the best I can. It already has stuff on there, but I want to make sure. So here we are.
When you're putting fittings like this together, be sure to use a wrench on each fitting. Like this one right here is all right, but when you're doing the smaller ones together, make sure you use 2 wrenches or you can bend it.
I built this one like this. I put a plug in the back, connection here, and then an outlet in front. I'll have an air hose on that. And all you do is get some screws that'll fit in there and screw it down. I'm just gonna try to get it as straight as I can and go up with it. It really doesn't matter that much. This is all temporary anyway. When I'm gonna build another room in here. For me, that's actually pretty good. So I could make that come straight up, but I'm gonna put an elbow in it, and it's as easy as this. Right there. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put this in here. It's in there. I'm gonna get that to about right there. And go ahead and cut it. That's there. Easy, easy. So now I want to go from over here to over there where the air hose usually goes in there, and I plug it in. I'm going to go over the garage door and run it around. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have enough of this, but I'll use the other stuff too. I didn't have enough of hose, even putting these together, to go all the way over the door and come back over here. And I really didn't need it over there anyway. My first air hose is right over here. So what I did was I went over here and I connected it behind all that stuff over here. This is real life situations here. It's not just YouTube, everything's perfect. So I went that way and I connected them, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I connected them. And then we'll go around and I'll show you. The most important thing I do in my shop is pressure pots. I do a lot of resin casting, so if that's something you're into or might be interested in, I do shop improvements and stuff. So subscribe and hit the bell and all that YouTube stuff. I'm gonna show you how these go together, and then I'll show you how everything works. This is the new kit. This fits the bigger hose. This is the old kit. This fits the smaller hose. This is an adapter, 3/8 female to 1/4 inch male. So you're just gonna, put your appropriate, if you want to use tape or the liquid Teflon, whatever you're gonna do, you just hook them up like this. And like that. And then goes in there like that. Goes in there like that. You're hooked up. And I did that behind all that junk over there. The most important thing that I need air for in my shop is these pressure pots. I do live videos over here making pin blanks and resin castings and stuff. And then I put the things in the pressure pots, and I have an air outlet right here. And this is from the old stuff in the shop. I need to know if this is gonna fill this, and I make these go, this one goes to about 70 PSI. This is a 5-gallon pot. And we're already almost done filling it. So we're happy with that one. And this is a 10-gallon pot. It's like overly huge for this, and about the same pressure in this one. This will take a little bit longer, obviously, it's twice as big. But right now I'm pretty happy with how things are going. This is a crucial thing in my shop. You might be doing something in your shop like painting or adding, painting shellac on something, or just airing up tires or whatever, and this will do it. There we go. I think that actually feels faster. That might be just my imagination, but that's it. I'll bring you over here where it comes in the building, and then we'll look at how I have it set up all the way around the shop. All right, this here, you saw me put that through the conduit, go outside, it just hooks here, and goes that way. It's all quick connect. This is just something you pick up at the store. This actually came from Lowe's. It's a Cobalt brand. And of course, I'll put links to all this stuff below, and I'll go show you the other things the other outlets I have in the shop. Of course, we've already seen the one for the pressure pots. I have one right there for this area, and I just blow things off, mostly just blow off the CNC machine. I have another one right here. If this gets a little dusty out here, I just blow it off. Make sure eye protection. And last but not least, this is my sanding station over here. This is where I mill wood down, so sometimes it get dusty. I have good dust collection, but we all know that doesn't fix everything, and I have another one over here. So now let's go look in the shop and see how everything's set up over there and where the air compressor's at. All right, here's what we have so far. I put this thing on there, took out the old valve and just put that one in. Should be pretty convenient to get the moisture out of there. Put the shutoff valve right there, and I just used that hose that I had on there originally. I was going to use all the blue line, but I was going to quickly run out of connectors, so I decided to use this hose right here that I had before. It goes into this filter, it goes right into that block, and I use some of the old stuff that's in my shop to hook this one up. So you had to use some adapters, and then this one comes up. There's really nothing to hook it to. I'm gonna secure it to this little fake wall here, and then it goes to the other shop now. I don't hear any leaks anywhere, and I also did this upgrade down here to let the moisture out. As you can see, it needed done. Now that that's going to be a little more convenient, I'll probably do it more often. Obviously, it needed done. Let's go back to the other shop, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this stuff. Before I give you my final thoughts, don't forget to go down and check out Skillshare. First 1,000 subscribers of mine that go there will get a free trial of premium membership. So remember that. There'll be links to this stuff below. Now my final thoughts are, this is a high quality system right here. And it's nice, and I wanted a robust, pretty durable thing to go underground and hopefully be there for years and years and years. With that being said, the system that I have in the shop already has been here for years and years and years, and it was so much more enjoyable to use because everything just fits. You go to buy things and you just want it to work. This thing, you need to get adapters for, and it's kind of a little finicky here and there. It's not rocket science, but you buy it. It's more expensive than the other one, and you need to buy other stuff. So if you're not very mechanically inclined, or you don't like figuring things out, like, you're going to want the smaller kit. And the pressure pots that are in here, that's what I need done. And that unless you're sitting there painting a car all day, you're not going to need the bigger hoses or make sure you're maximizing your volume and all that kind of stuff. I just need air in the shop. And I think that's where most people are going to be, is you just want some air. You need to air up tires, or you need to blow out the shop, or whatever you're going to do. And I think that smaller kit is probably for more people. I guess I'll put it that way. I think that's about it for this video. But I did forget to do one thing. Let's go. Y'all be good.